Hello Universe, it's Gypsy. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. This is a panning project, an eyeshadow project with the Fantastic Ladies of Facebook. It's called Panning Solitaire. In this project, we're going to start with a single, move to a duo, then a trio, a quad, and work these projects one at a time. The eyeshadow that I'm going to start with is a Neutrogena Skin Soothing Eye Tints product. It's in a light, it's a creamy eyeshadow. I'm going to use this as a base. That being said, I'm undecided about the duos, the trios, and the quads. I'm going to show you a few of the things that I would like to somehow incorporate into this project this year, but I don't have a plan yet, and I think that's okay because I've got a starting point. I have one Estee Lauder liquid eyeshadow, Go Wink, in this beautiful rusty creamy color. I think this is the only liquid eyeshadow I have in my collection. It has a doe foot applicator, and quite honestly, it's hard for me to use. I have to have time when I wear that to play with it and get it in the places that I want it to be. I have a loose eyeshadow powder by L'Oreal called Sugar Coated. It comes in a container like this, and that is full. I would like to use my loose eyeshadow products. This loose product by Rush is a shimmer shaker. It's could be used on the body, and it's also, at least that one's got a shaker on it, so thank goodness for that. This is a Franken-Shadow. It's also crushed and loose in a pretty mauvey, dark mauvey looking color. This is also a Franken powder, eyeshadow powder. It's also in a mauve, but it's got a little bit more sheen to it, a little bit more of a gold look to it. And this is also a loose eyeshadow, and this is in a creamy color, so it could be used to set the base. This is a Frankenpan of a gold eyeshadow. I put it in a Ziza. It's loose, guys, and goes all over the place. I do have a bigger shaker of that. This is also a Frankenpan from last year's Pan That Palette, Pan As Old As Time. This is a black and a green Franken together. I would love to use that up. And this is also from that project, and this is the brown and a golden brown Franken together. This is actually lovely and can be worn one and done. I enjoy that one. I like that one. So I took my Pan As Old As Time, and I had a bunch of eyeshadows that I had depotted. They did not have magnetic bottoms, so I glued them to the bottom of this palette with just E6000 glue. So, and a lot of these have are crumbled up, so I'm going to try and tilt it so you can see. I would love to work through these as well. Let me see if I can turn it this way, if that might work a little better. It's very crumbly. You can see the big chunks coming out of some of these. And usually when they would chunk like that, that's when I would put them in as a loose shadow. I have this old plastic container. It's a CD container. I was using it as a Z palette and gluing in eyeshadows as well. These are e.l.f. products. These two are Sally Hansen Mary Kay products. This is an Ofra product, and I think this is a Revlon, but I might be wrong. Again, I'd like to use these up because of the packaging that they're in. This is also a Z palette that I created simply by gluing loose eyeshadows. There's a brown one way up top here in the corner that I've been working on, and I've got these. I'd like to work on these this year. These next 3 palettes I'm going to show you are not my own homemade little whatever, but they have the size and the depth of them. I'd like to work these out of my collection. So I'm going to keep all of these things on my nightstand to see if I can pull from them this year. This is a City Color Collection Bloom Baby Bloom. And I did glue in a few of these, of my singles into this tray with the rest of these after I depotted the lipstick and made it into a Frankenpan, because those were lipsticks, and some of these are probably face like blushes or bronzers, but there's also eyeshadow in there, so I've just glued a few extra in there. This next is a Beauty Treats Luminous Eyes and Face Palette. I would also like to work through this year. There's a lot of things in here that could be used as blushes, a lot of eyeshadows that could be used as blushes, a lot of brown eyeshadows that are so pale that you could probably use them as bronzers. And this last one is Measurable Difference Get the Look Nude, Get the Look Kit. I'd also taken out the lipsticks and franken them into a different pan so that I could use them. I'd like to use this up again because of the packaging. It would just make my area where I store my makeup a little bit more pulled together. So those are the products I would love to work on this year. You know how long it takes to pan things. So I don't know what kind of progress I'm going to make. Some of the products, like I said, are problematic. These 2 glittery gel-like products have to be worn. I'm wearing it today. I don't even know if you can see it. It has to be worn as a topper over your eyeshadow, and you kind of just get a little bit of a reflection, a little bit of light-catching eyeshadow look to it. This, of course, is problematic to me. It will smear and get into creases. So I'm going to start with the very first, the Neutrogena Eye Tints. I'm going to start as a base for it, and I'll just reach into the rest of these things organically and see if I can make some progress. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel and supporting this project. I hope to see you again in a month when I do an update, and have a happy New Year. Toodaloo.